Welcome my friends back to Marvel Snap. What if I told you that we are going to play a deck with only one card above 2 power? Well, at first you might say that you have no chance of winning, and second you might say you have to be playing a Cerebro list. If you say we have to be playing a Cerebro list, you are exactly right. Today we are going to be playing Cereb-2O. This deck is a very unlikely powerhouse. We get a number of very capable cards at the 2 power threshold. And then when Cerebro hits the board, he's able to drastically elevate what the deck is able to do. Fun fact is that Cerebro actually has one of the highest win rates in the game. When he's able to hit the board, he can do incredible things for you. The thing is that we really fall apart if we don't get Cerebro onto the board. We have some mitigating factors to be able to control our opponent. We're going to talk about those in a second. It used to be that this version of Cerebro would run Spider-Man, and it was kind of desirable because you got control out of the Spider-Man. We lost Spider-Man to the Cerebro 3's list because he got buffed, but Blue Marvel was taken down a peg and now can be run here, elevating all of our cards to 3 power and then everybody receiving the Cerebro buff. The new Blue Marvel, I'm absolutely a fan. Trying to find more decks that can bring him in, and this one is a great one because we are also able to use the Mr. Sinister and the Brood to get extra body spam to be able to distribute these buffs from both Blue Marvel and Cerebro. That's where the efficiency of this deck really takes off. It actually has a very high ceiling for a Cerebro list. The downside is that the kryptonite for any of the Cerebro lists, if I can blend in some DC terminology, is that locations that alter the power level of cards absolutely breaks our back. And with this list, we're not able to run any of the cards that would normally be able to fix those locations, like the Magic, like the Scarlet Witch, or the Rhino. But what we do have is we have Storm. Storm is our only prayer. She's also able to leverage some control against the opponent. We get even more control against the opponent with Goose, and if we're very intelligent in how we play these control pieces, we can be just fine. Rounding out the list is Iceman and Korg for 1-drop control. Uatu, because I guess it's cute, it gives us the information in a handful of games not to play to a location that would then spike our power curve and break our game capabilities. I really don't like Uatu, but he gives us just a prayer and a couple extra matchups. Goose, as I said, excellent control piece. Scorpion, one of the best 2-power cards, I think, period. And then, of course, the Cerebro Mystique. Mystique looking to be able to target either the Cerebro or the Blue Marvel. Very happy on either one of those. And Mr. Fantastic coming in as a good 3-drop, also able to get that reach around to a location potentially locked down by Storm. Let's take this one into battle. I'm dedicating this video to one of my stream viewers who says that he climbs up close to infinite, running the Cerebro 2's list quite consistently, so we had to give it a go. If you want to be able to join in and hang out on the streams, we do deck building, have a great time chatting about all things Snap. You subscribe to the channel, you can see when we go live. We go live on both Twitch and YouTube here. Let's throw out Atlantis. So we're going to have multiple cards here. Nidavellir. Hang on. We can get the +5 off of the Atlantis, and then we can have all of the additives from Nidavellir. I kind of like where this is going. Let's throw in the Scorpion. What would we want our solo carry at Atlantis to be? I'm not sure. Could it be Goose? Goose would be a very creative pick because then it holds the opponent back from playing anything out of the higher cost category of cards. Now, most people don't try. Okay, and then Wakandan Embassy is going to smack us even more. So this is effectively, we're reaching worst case scenario situation already with our power curve as screwed up as it is. We're going to have this buffed Goose try and hold down the fort, looking for the Cerebro, maybe. Honestly, playing Blue Marvel and then picking up the buff out of Mystique could be quite good. Maybe we should have played Mr. Fantastic to Atlantis, but now that's neither here nor there. Okay. Storm would be able to even things out, but we don't want it evened out. We're thriving off of this consistent +5, so we just want to lock down the Wakandan Embassy. And then I'm going to play Blue Marvel on the back of it. Once Blue Marvel does that, Mystique is great at Nidavellir, picking up at least some power, and then also the distributed buffs from copying Blue Marvel. Is it going to be enough? Who knows? Opponent with Daredevil Jubilee, not sure what they are exactly trying to run here. America Chavez. It could have been worse. It could have been much worse. We get the Brood. I kind of really want to play the Brood, but I think Blue Marvel, Mystique, Mr. Fantastic is likely a better play. What are you going to do? With Daredevil, they have to be running Hobgoblin, right? Daredevil and Hobgoblin are just married at this point. Don't get it twisted. It's not Daredevil. It's not Daredevil She-Hulk. Daredevil Hobgoblin is the true ship. Interesting. You have the Thing. Are you running Patriot? We're playing an opponent who is actually running Patriot? Do we snap? You know what? I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna snap. I'm a mad lad. What you got? Mystique? Copy the Blue Marvel. Distribute the buffs. Goose holding down the fort. The little kitty. I dismissed Goose so much when I first saw her. And now, quickly rising in my mind of being an incredible card. They've got the Vision. It is just enough. And then the Rock. But we take the win. Yes. Oh man, that was a mind breaker to be able to play around at Avalier and Atlantis, but they actually meshed up together. We found where there's a will, there's a way, and life finds a way. If you guys are enjoying the Marvel Snap content, show some love to the video. That's what I thrive off of, to keep on delivering this content to you guys. We'll throw out the Korg, trying to play safe to the locations that we know aren't going to completely flip our power curve. It's very important to keep in mind when you're playing the Cerebro list. Often I'll just go onto autopilot and start hucking out cards to the mystery locations. But this deck, that can be incredibly punishing. So they get the Nakia, we get the Scorpion. Honestly, I'm okay with this. And here comes the Uatu, just in time to be irrelevant. It's going to be the Bifrost. Interesting. Well, if Fisk Tower had been moved over, oh boy, that would have been wild. Absolutely wild. We'll go with Mr. Sinister is going to really start to clutter one of these locations. Yeah, we'll play it out to Fisk Tower. And just hold on to the Watcher. Now, one, it's a wild mind game, but you can get into the opponent's head. If you play Uatu early, see the opponent's play. If they play to a location that wasn't already uncovered and then snap. Like, it's such a niche situation, but you can be like, I know what all the locations are. You played to the wrong one. I'm going to snap already. I don't know if it's that good because then they just flip and the opponent can see most likely that you were completely bluffing, but it's kind of funny. You got to admit it's kind of funny. The opponent playing Okoye and Nakia, the two Wakandan sisters, are here. I know they're not sisters, but anyway. We'll play Mr. Sinister. Bifrost is going to relocate him to the center. And we're holding Cerebro for the end. I'm quite happy with Cerebro in place here. Got the Bishop. Here goes Bifrost. Ooh, Blue Marvel. Okay. I think we go with Uatu, Cerebro. Oh, but do I hold Cerebro? Here's the thing. If we draw the Mystique, then being able to copy Blue Marvel is also really good. We could probably just hold Cerebro, right? Our energy curve is so low. So incredibly low. We'll wait. We'll hold tight. Play the Blue Marvel on next turn, get the distributed buff. Killmonger. No. Those were going to be such huge cards. They were going to be getting, well, at least +3. The Killmonger killed 10 points. Killmonger is so strong. So strong. I'm surprised that the devs haven't taken Killmonger down a couple points himself, because he synergizes so well with even cards that you have that you want destroyed, and then he can pop off in situations like this where the opponent has played just a couple 1-drops. He gives tremendous tempo. He will play the Blue Marvel here and looking quite happy to play Brood Cerebro. The Brood with the Cerebro buff is actually a 12-point play. That's a Magneto. Guys, that's Magneto for a 3 cost. If we get the Mystique, it's going to be an interesting question on if you go Cerebro Mystique or if you go Cerebro Brood, because the Brood is that efficient. It actually is that efficient. And this Hell Cow, I don't... Oh, we got it. Okay, I said now we have to do the math. So, Brood is 12 points. If I play Cerebro Mystique, then we are going to be putting the buff on 4 other cards. Nope, sorry, 5. Yeah, Blue Marvel is receiving all of these as well. So it is better. We flip first, which means we are in danger of an Enchantress clipping us. Meaning that I would like to distribute where my cards appear. The opponent with their nameplate as Ezekiel tells me they're a bot. Also with their randomized deck. Feels very bot-like. So they could quite often have the Enchantress slotted in to be able to turn off. But here we have distributed all of our ongoing effects. Probably play Mystique over here to maintain Blue Marvel. It's a very niche case. I don't think they really have it, but you want to play around every contingency. There's the Cerebro. Give me the buffs. Hey, Mystique, actually, yeah, Blue Marvel giving our Cerebro and our Mystique even a little bit of strength. Just a rock. Let's go. We got all of our cards up to 7 strength. It's a game-winning situation. Cerebro in hand again. I'll love to see it. It turns out, guys, some of the greatest power and Mystique, some of the greatest power can be found in the most unlikely places. If you guys have any really unlikely decks, I mean, I'll honestly try anything at this point in Snap. Give me some deck recommendations down below in the comments, especially if it's something that you haven't really seen me playing with. Now, of course, that could be because I don't have the card added to the collection yet. We're free to play here at the channel and have been slogging our way oh so slowly through the collection track. I like Scorpion here to mess with the opponent, and I want to be able to see what this third location is. Mr. Fantastic to Nowhere is great. We need to be careful about the on reveal because we do have Brood, Mr. Sinister, Scorpion, etc. All of these options that we want to leverage with on reveal effects. Luke's Bar. I don't like it. That means I probably storm it. Storm the bar. It just sounds good. It sounds good. Mr. Sinister coming in behind on the bar could be quite fun. I would also like a Goose to Fisk Tower if we draw Goose. So probably that's the best thing that we could draw right now is Goose. And then we have the Cerebro plus the Mystique. Just spam out the bodies and we're prepared. They've got the Scarlet Witch. No. Don't mess with my power curve. Monster Metropolis, why? As long as Angela grows large enough, it shouldn't matter. But those are famous last words, if I've ever heard any. Okay, so Mr. Sinister is going to spawn another little body. We have to be able to win 2 of the locations. We'll throw the Iceman down with the Scorpion. At this point, I always like guessing at what point does the opponent realize I'm playing Cerebro 2s, because I have been faked out by this deck so many times. One of the reasons I finally broke down and had to play it myself was because I got beat by it. Opponent had nothing. Nothing? Mr. Fantastic me? And Korg me. Now I'm worried. I'm actually very worried that they're not going to fill up Angela. Because if Angela doesn't gain the power and take the buffs, then Cerebro Mystique is going to get too large. But they didn't play at all the flooded. Maybe it's to our advantage. Maybe it's incredibly to our advantage. Sunspot. It is incredibly to our advantage. Okay, hang on. How do they win flooded? They have no way of reaching flooded. If flooded stays at 8. Because we're not going to distribute these buffs. We're snapping. It's Cerebro here, and then Mystique is on reveal. She copies ongoing, but she is on reveal to be able to activate. Oh, I wanted to see it. We were in such a good spot. Hey, we go with Uatu. What does it let us know? We have Kiln, so we want to rush to the Kiln. Mur Island. Mur Island is terrible, but Storm can cancel it. And then cloning Vats. Cloning Vats could be very interesting. Something like the Scorpion played over and over. Obviously, if we get the Cerebro, it's even better. But also we like to clone. Not that much. I feel like Scorpion in hand is why I thought of him. Cloning Blue Marvel could be fun. It brings everybody else up to 4. Opponent has no play. Guys, this deck is actually incredibly fun. I thought it was going to be a pain and be a bit of a meme, a bit of a high roll, but it's coming together. So Sinister me gives us a lot of tempo at Kiln. Not as much if we don't actually find Cerebro, but maybe Blue Marvel gets us a way out. They've got the Daredevil to the Mur Island. We got to turn the Mur Island off. Or just surrender the location, but then what do we do with my Storm? We actually got the Blue Marvel. Okay. So, do we play Brood to Flooded, which is now going to be the center location, and then just say copy Blue Marvel twice as our finisher? That feels very strong. Alternatively, we play Brood plus Scorpion and then have only 1 Blue Marvel. Mr. Fantastic? Mr. Fantastic not really changing my calculations here. Oh, hang on. We are at... I feel like the Brood has to be way better than whatever else I was thinking. I thought for some reason I could play Brood and Scorpion together. My whole calculation of the energy curve was off. They've got the America Chavez. That's rough. If we don't find Cerebro here, they could very easily walk away. We got the Cerebro. Let's go. Cerebro me, Scorpion me, Snap me. I am going to be very sad when they throw Hobgoblin into this, just because Hobgoblin and Daredevil are married. I've said it many times. If you're going to play Daredevil, why not run the Hobgoblin? It's so reliable, so powerful to shut the opponent down. Also, you could just go Gamora. I'm surprised that people have gone to the Hobgoblin so much rather than Gamora with the Daredevil. Because, I mean, Gamora is 12 points on a pointy stick. We draw the Mystique? Are you kidding? What a finale. It's good to wear the helmet. What do we think they have? What could they possibly have? Dr. Doom, that's cute. Normally very good to get into Kiln and Flooded. Not so this time. That is a beautiful end board. The Kiln locked up with Mr. Sinister with the tempo. Flooded locked up but with Brood giving us the tempo, and then all of these copied over. Have we stumbled on a truly competitive Cerebro deck list? I'm gonna have to temper myself because whenever I get a couple consecutive wins, which I recorded that block of games straight through, I get really high on a deck list, and I know that Cerebro has his limits. We were able to find Cerebro so reliably in those set of games, which in Marvel Snap your decks are very consistent, but in a game where you don't get Cerebro, then you are absolutely dead in the water. So we were able to really showcase the fantasy of the deck, how strong it can be. It's not always going to be incredibly reliable, but it is very fun. And honestly, with the control elements of Storm and Goose and then the Blue Marvel in there as well, I think it's more consistent than... how hard do I want to push this? I think it's more consistent than you might normally let on. Give it a go if you want to have some fun with the Cerebro list. Let me know how it works out for you guys. Until next time, thank you guys for watching and keep on snapping.